Hello and welcome to Lesson 3. In this lesson, we will start reviewing the 100 civics questions. And today we will be talking about the U.S. Constitution. Now before we get started, here's a picture of what our Constitution looks like. Let's talk about what a Constitution is. So if you haven't Googled it, a constitution is what it says here on Google, a body of fundamental principles or established precedents according to which a state or other organization is acknowledged to be governed. Now that's a little bit too much for me, so I would define with my own definition that a constitution is a guideline for laws. So it's rules for laws. You can make up all the laws that you want, but there are very basic principles that they must stick to. All right? Your constitution from your home country is probably different than the Constitution of the United States, although it might closely resemble the United States Constitution. A fun fact, the United States Constitution is actually the longest surviving constitution on the planet. So even though the US is quite a young country, the founders of our country really took their experiences from history and government in Europe, seeing what succeeded and what failed, and actually put together a document that is still in use today. You'll hear a lot of presidential candidates talking about, oh, this is unconstitutional, or I support the Constitution. That means that they want to adhere to the beginning principles of American government. Cool? Great. Now let's talk about what we're going to do in this lesson. So we'll keep it nice, short, and light. We'll be going through questions 1 through 5. Now let's take a look at the first question. Question 1. What is the supreme law of the land? What is the supreme law of the land? So this means, what is the highest law of the land? So as you'll remember, I said that the Constitution is kind of like a guide for all the laws. So the answer is the Constitution. The Constitution is the supreme law of the land. It's the highest law. Moving on to question 2, what does the Constitution do? So what does the Constitution actually do? What does it function? What is it for? Now here are 3 main points that the government wants you to remember. It's that it sets up the government, it defines the government, and it protects the basic rights of Americans. So it gives the government a framework to run on, and it helps you because then nobody can say anything that's against you legally, or if they do something, you can retaliate legally also. Question 3. The idea of self-government is in the first 3 words of the Constitution. What are these 3 words? Now, if you remember, you had a sneak peek as to the picture. Let's go back to the picture. Oh, what are the first 3 words? It's we the people. So, we the people is the idea that the people are behind the government and not the government officials. We the people is a basis for a democracy. It's the people who are governing. All right, let's go down to question 4. What is an amendment? So generally when you amend something, you either change it, you fix it. It's a sort of a change. So can you think of a reason why the Constitution would be added onto or changed in any way. For example, now we have computers. We almost cannot live without them. So a lot of cybercrime has been occurring where people steal credit cards or they leak out nude photos. So those are crimes involving computers. Now, the Constitution was written in the 1700s, so there was no way that anyone would have seen, oh my god, there's computers now. In fact, they didn't even have cars back then. So what you do is you make a change to the document, and that change is called an amendment, right? So an amendment is a change or an addition to the Constitution. All right? And our last question, what do we call the first 10 amendments to the Constitution? This is just something that you have to memorize. It's called the Bill of Rights. So as the name suggests, it's a list of rights that cannot be taken away from you, and we will go into more specifics in a different lesson. Thank you again for watching Lesson 3. I'll see you in the next videos.